Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to video 3. So today we're going to finish up with the modified Lunchbox suspension. So here we have a stock lower arm from a Lunchbox. It's at full lock. So let's take a look and see how much we've gained now over stock. Pretty good. You've probably noticed I'm running hubs with these knuckles, which is different than stock. So what that means is the standard front rims that come with the Lunchbox are not going to work. So these came off of my Wild Willy, and I'll just be using them for the time being. I'm running 5 millimeters of offset, plus an additional 2.5. And the reason for that is so that this stop for the knuckle does not rub on the rim here. Pretty cool, right? Now, let's talk about shocks. So I decided to go with YR Shock Gear touring shocks. The reason for that is they came with a number of different springs, different options for pistons, and they were cheap. So this shock right here, this is a Yokomo Pro SSS. This is what I have in the rest of my cars. Even my Wild Willy has Yokomo Pro SSS shocks. And it's lowered, but you can ignore these wheels for now. So this is a stock shaft and piston. And over here we have titanium shaft, one of the piston options that can be purchased. A lot of the parts between these can be interchanged. The pistons cannot, but the low friction O-rings, the shafts are interchangeable. The oil seals are interchangeable. So basically I have a YR shock with some Yokomo internals. The longer shocks are for the front and these shorter ones are for the rear. The reason I went with touring shocks is so that I can control the height. That can be done by using steering rod ends. So all I did was cut the ball end cap to the length I wanted based on the spring heights that I'm going to be using. So the way this works, once I've got the length set up, I do have this as a stop basically, so that the front end, because this is a front shock, so that the front end doesn't hit the ground like on a small jump or something like that. Then I use these spring retainers. So when we're done, we end up putting together two varying springs. So you can actually use, like, for example, a medium and a soft or something like that. And essentially you've created a progressive spring. So I don't know about you, but shocks have always been overwhelming to me. With spring rates, oil weight, mounting position. But I have learned this though. You can have the best chassis with the best suspension, with the best radio system, and it's not going to make you a better driver. You have to spend hours driving to get a feel for what you like. Then, through trial and error, you can get the chassis set up to how you like to drive. But that's just my opinion. Now let's look at how this project finished. Keeping in mind that I haven't driven the Lunchbox yet, and so therefore It still has to be tuned. I don't have another transmission, but this lunchbox should be pretty close to stock ride height. And you can see we have been able to lower the suspension dramatically. And we've gone from positive camber in the front to negative camber. And not only do we have more angle compared to stock, at full lock, the contact patch is almost flat. And you can see here with stock, it's not. We should have more forward grip, thus making turns more stable. All right, guys, so the next thing to do is finish up those electronics and take this thing for a ride. Thanks for watching. Until next time.